I'm Deborah House, and I'm the Associate Director at Legal Aid of East Tennessee here in Knoxville. And I'm going to talk to you for just a few minutes about orders of protection and divorce in domestic violence situations. First of all, let me say it's very important if you are a victim of domestic violence that you apply for an order of protection. There are ways to go about that that will provide you help and assistance. You, of course, have a right to apply for an order of protection by yourself without help, but that's not the best way to do it. Orders of protection can be very complicated, and the process can be very time-consuming. Here at the Family Justice Center, we have a system in place for victims of domestic violence to come in and meet with an advocate who can help them fill out the complicated paperwork to get an order of protection. Not only does the order of protection involve listing what abuse happened that you need protection from, but also dealing with other issues such as custody of children and child support and sometimes property issues and use of the home. So it's very important that an individual have help in thinking through all the issues they need to address in the order of protection to make sure it's filled up properly so that the court will grant the order of protection. Now, there is legal help available for orders of protection as well. Here at the Family Justice Center, when an individual comes in and works with one of our advocates to fill out an order of protection, they can make a referral to Legal Aid of East Tennessee, which has an office here on site at the Family Justice Center. Our office here is staffed by an attorney and a paralegal who are experts in dealing with domestic violence. And it's up to the individual client here at the Family Justice Center whether or not they want to talk with a lawyer. That's everyone's choice, and we don't force anyone to speak with a lawyer. But there are certain situations where it's probably a very good idea to talk with a lawyer, and a couple of those are if the domestic violence has been very severe, or if there is sexual assault or stalking, which are different levels of domestic violence and involve different kinds of issues that must go into the petition. It's real important to talk with a lawyer at that point. Also, if there's custody of children involved, I think it's very important to talk with a lawyer because you have to do certain things, put certain things in your order of protection papers if you're dealing with custody of kids to make sure that the court can actually look at those issues. Not only custody, but child support, and sometimes dealing with supervised visitation for the other parent as well. So in those situations, it is very important to talk with a lawyer. You, of course, as a client here, have a right to hire your own lawyer if you would so choose. If you would like a referral to Legal Aid, your advocate here will have a form that they will give you to make a referral to Legal Aid. We often can't see you the same day you're here at the Family Justice Center because of the time involved in the other aspects of going through our process here at the Family Justice Center. We'll either see you that day, or we can do the referral and we can call you back at your convenience to set an appointment for you to come in and speak with our lawyer. And then if you do become a client of Legal Aid, of course, the day of court, we will be there in court with you, not only to support you, but also to represent you. And if you know that your abuser has a lawyer, then it's absolutely essential that you have a lawyer. It's very difficult to go through the court system if the other side is represented and you're not. So those are several situations where I think it's real important that you talk with a lawyer about your order of protection, and where a lawyer could probably make a difference in terms of whether or not the order of protection is granted. And the final situation I would say it's important to have a lawyer is if your order of protection has been violated, because filling out the violation form or the contempt form is also very complicated. There's certain things that must go in there or the court cannot issue a finding of contempt. So in those circumstances, we always encourage individuals to consult with a lawyer and have a lawyer present. Now let me talk just a couple minutes about divorce. Now divorce could be a 2-hour video, but we're only going to talk just very, very briefly about divorce and domestic violence situations. First of all, again, you can do a divorce by yourself without a lawyer. It is absolutely not a good idea to do that unless that is your only option, particularly if you're a victim of domestic violence, and especially if you have children. Child issues, custody issues, and visitation and shared parenting in divorce cases become very complicated. And there's other things involved such as mediation and parenting classes and other issues that have to be addressed other than just filing for divorce. Legal Aid of East Tennessee can handle a very limited number of divorces from domestic violence victims because of our limited resources. If you are a victim of domestic violence and feel that you are ready to look at a divorce, the first thing that our first requirement is that you be separated for at least 3 to 6 months. That is because we know that it's very difficult to leave domestic violence situations, and it takes a little bit of time to get ready to deal with the issues that come with a divorce, which are very different than dealing with the issues you will deal with when you're seeking your order of protection. And to access Legal Aid of East Tennessee, again, you can either fill out a referral form here at the Family Justice Center with your advocate, or you can call our office directly here at the Family Justice Center. We will schedule an appointment to meet with one of our paralegals to discuss your case, do an intake, and then have a lawyer do an assessment of whether or not we can help you at a given point in time. Now, if you've already had divorce papers served on you by the other side, then it really is important at that point that you call a lawyer immediately, because you only have 30 days to answer that divorce, and that again is something that Legal Aid can help you with. Now, if you choose to hire a private lawyer, or if Legal Aid can't help you for some reason, for instance, you're over our income guidelines or there's a conflict of interest, you can contact the Knoxville Bar Association's Lawyer Referral Service, and they can arrange for a consultation with a private lawyer, and at that point you can decide yourself whether or not to hire the lawyer that you have the consultation with. Also, all the lawyers in town are listed in the yellow pages of the phone book, and we often refer people there, and many times the lawyer will list if they handle specifically domestic relations cases, divorce or custody or child support.